Once and for all.
Okay, alright, okay.
Once and for all. I want you to say it one more time.
One more time. Racism has three components. Racism is affecting a group either and or economically, socially, or militarily. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's what racism is. So, economically, that's basically denying you from buying a house, renting an apartment, okay, opening a bank account, starting a business, okay. Socially, that's entertainment. You know what I mean? Anime, gaming, live action. You know what I mean? Animation, you know, gaming, live action. You know what I mean? Music. Constantly shitting on your group every day, okay, or making sure that your group doesn't come up, okay. And then military, meaning law enforcement, you know what I mean, or the actual military, okay.
Let me ask you a question. Can black people be racist?
No.
Why?
Because we cannot affect another group. We don't have the collateral at all to affect another group economically, socially, militarily, or, you know, I'll add one more, judicially. Okay? We can't pass laws to denigrate one group. Okay? We can't deny a person economically from seceding. We can't put out entertainment to basically tell the world, export to the entire world outside the United States that we're quote unquote superior to you guys, to everybody else. And law enforcement, we, you know, militarily, you know, we don't have a military or a police force, you know what I mean, to basically, like, you know, go after you, you know what I mean, insidiously. I mean, without due process. I mean, that's what racism is. You know, me clowning, you know, whatever, Charlie Kirk, whatever, man, that, you know, at the most people say, okay, that's prejudice, right?
Because they be giving racism and prejudice mixed up.
Right, and now what they're trying to do now is they're even trying to, you know, flip the term racism as, oh, differing opinions. Can you believe that? differing opinions. I mean, it's not an opinion that you want me and my entire group wiped off the face of the planet. Let's just keep it 1,000, okay? That's what motherfuckers desire, okay? They want black people gone, okay? You know, when we try to build for ourselves, white folks come in and try to destroy what we're doing. When we try to build alongside them, they'll clip us, you know what I mean, on the way. Okay? That's what that is. Look at Africa. Okay? Look at Africa. There's your answer. The youngest continent on the planet, over 70% of the population in Africa is below the age of 30. And the reason why they can't get off the ground is because all the other continents and the countries within those continents have imposed on Africa, ripping the resources, political violence, I mean, political manipulation, assassinations of leaders that will stand for their own people in those various 54 African countries. That's why Africa is shaped the way it's shaped, which is in. For example, look at Muammar Gaddafi, okay? They killed him because he was going to unite all of Africa under one currency, which was going to be backed by Africans' resources. That would have bankrupted every country, every continent on the globe except for Africa overnight. Because Africa is by far the richest continent on the planet as far as resources.
You hear that?
So Muammar Gaddafi wanted to introduce a new currency, a unified African currency that was backed by Africa's resources.
Yep.
Because think about it, all the other continents and countries' monetary systems are backed by trust, right? That's why the U.S. dollar says, "In God we trust." You know what I mean? The U.S. dollar, in actuality, is not worth anything. But the reason what makes it value is that it has the quote-unquote value of America behind it, right? Is that we have, of all the wealth that America has, you know, like for example, this country, there's no way you can create a country this rich without the massive labor that's used, which is black folks. There's no country on earth that can get this wealthy without the weight of labor that was used back then, and that was slavery through black folks. That's how the country became so rich in the first place. That's why when Trump likes to brag, "Oh man, you know, America's the greatest nation on earth, and you know, it's the wealthiest nation on earth." Yeah, because black folks are responsible for that.
Absolutely.
Because the amount of labor that was used to build this country up for free. No other country is like that. No other country is like that.
You explain it all, my friend. You explain it all, man. And I try to tell people about racism, man. I tell people, man. Like we can't do that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying about the whole thing with Charlie Kirk, was that when he died, it was like pouring bleach on an anthill, literally, because we literally in real time saw who had a hood in their closet and who didn't. Who had the white hood in their closet and who didn't. I'm looking at all these accounts, all these fucking, you know, gaming anime motherfuckers, you know what I mean? All they're telling themselves, "Oh man, you know, Charlie Kirk," you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. I'm just looking at them, I was like, oh, okay, all right, that's
I ain't saying nothing because I ain't know nothing about this dude. Nothing.
Right.
Until now.
Right, and so I'm looking at all these accounts, and all these gaming anime motherfuckers, man, you know what I mean, caping, you know, for Charlie Kirk. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, because you believe in what he's saying. You co-sign what he's saying. What was this motherfucker, what was he standing for? What was he standing for, okay? What was he representing? Come on, man. The very last fucking words that he said before he died was gang violence, which basically meant black folks. On his timeline on X, the entire day yesterday before that motherfucking man, you know, got the heater on him, this motherfucking man the whole time, all day yesterday, was putting out tweets of nothing, you know, but talking shit about black folks. Okay? Because somebody in the audience asked him about, you know, trans people and mass shootings, stuff like that, and somehow he found a way to flip it to shitting on black folks. Okay? He saw gang violence, and that was it. And that motherfucker, man, he died instantly. This dude died talking shit about black folks. Isn't that crazy?
Maybe it was our ancestors that like.
Not know, oh hey man, you know, thank you very much for having me and woo whoop and all that, you know this other shit, man. They killed him right when he said gang violence. You know, when that motherfucker said gang violence.
He was obviously talking about black people. He was sure wasn't talking about the KKK.
Right, because gang violence is a code word for black folks.
And urban.
Right. That's what we meant by that. You know what I mean? This guy was a literal piece of shit. He literally was. This guy had the ear of white folks around the world and every other group who co-signed their white supremacist bullshit, you know what I mean? From older people, adults, and young children, okay? Alright?
And he had a chokehold on some, you know, black folks too. And they releasing it.
This motherfucker
These bootlickers and these coons.
Right. This motherfucker was definitely, I'll tell you right now, Boris, 100%. If this dude ran for president of the United States in 2032, he was going to win. He was going to win. And he would be fucking 10 times worse than Trump. Because the difference between this motherfucker and Trump, as racist he is, he had to fuck with black folks, man, to get rich. This motherfucker did not. That's the difference. That's the difference. Trump had to fuck with black folks in order to get rich.
Shout out to Snoop Dogg.
Right. He had to fuck with guys like Mike Tyson and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I hope you know I'm being facetious.
Right. But what I'm saying is, like, this motherfucker Charlie Kirk, this motherfucker didn't have to fuck with black folks to get the money that he did. This dude literally, throughout most of his adult life, was just fucking talking shit about black folks. He got paid for doing it. Okay?
I guess they're trying to mold him into another Rush Limbaugh.
Well, they trying to say that this motherfucker is like he's Martin Luther King. Okay? Yeah. This motherfucker's MLK. Like, you see that motherfucker, man, you know, Pat McAfee, you know what I mean? I never knew, I'm saying that, you know, keeping 1,000, man, I never fuck with Pat McAfee, man, you know what I mean? I'm not with WWE like that and shit like that, you know what I mean? And they always did it.
That sounds
He's that sports commentator on ESPN, whatever, shit like that. He was a former, you know, he was a former athlete, whatever, and shit like that. And the thing about Pat McAfee was that, like, he was like, oh, he had the courage, you know what I mean? The courage. You see what I'm saying? When he says courage, that means that, yeah, this motherfucker, man, was saying the shit that we're thinking.
Oh, I know who you talking about. He got like his hair is like kind of spiky, blonde.
Right. Yeah.
He be like drinking milk like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, the motherfucker said, oh, the courage. He had the courage.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, man, like I don't have no attachment to these people, man. I'm minding my own business. You know what I'm saying? But you over here shitting on people that don't look like you, you're gonna reap what you sow.
Right, and so that's what it is, man. And the thing about it is, you know, it's like I was watching this one Japanese politician, man, from the DPP, and he was talking about, oh man, Charlie Kirk, and he was talking about how, oh man, you know, the left and all this like that. I'm like, you know, and I'm glad this one dude in the comment section, man, said, man, my brother, man, come on, you know what I mean? I'm like, your country is in crisis right now. Yep. That's what he was saying. He said, your country's in crisis right now, and you want to fucking talk about some fucking, you know, bozo fucking white supremacist influencer?
And probably don't even like you.
And no, he didn't like him.
He didn't like him. Oh.
He went to Japan and ripped those motherfuckers off. Okay?
Wow. Kirk did.
You know, it's funny that he's the reason why he's one of the main reasons why Trump won both times. Okay? Because he galvanized, especially young voters, to, you to basically, to buy into that, the anti-black bullshit. Okay? And so that's why they went ahead and voted for Trump. And then, see, this is how white folks play the game. And then, he goes to Japan, and then fucking plays it off like, oh yeah, hey man, I'm here to help you, man, fight against, globalism. So, yeah, we shit on you, and then I'm gonna go to you, I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna fucking ask you to pay for it. And pretend that, I'm not the reason why your economy, my people is the reason why your economy is shit. Okay?
That is a devious grifter, man.
Yeah, that's what a grifter is. That's what a grifter is. If that term gets overblown shit, that's what a grifter is.
True grifter.
He made money shitting on black folks. You know what I mean? What kind of shit is that? You go to Japan, and I guarantee you that this motherfucker was so obsessed with black folks. I guarantee you that he found a way during that meeting with Sato to find a way to find some way to pin Japan's problems on black people.
That is crazy work.
And black people represent less than 0.5% of the population in Japan.
Yeah, ain't that many over there in Japan.
Barely. There's a black person, like, there's one black guy living in Josie City, and that's fucking BSP Japan. He's the only black person living in Josie City. Okay?
Japanese people, I hope you're not going to be indoctrinated by crazy stuff like that.
No, the problem, this has always been my main problem with Japan, is that they will never beat China. Because the thing about China, I was talking about this, with Joe the other day. Now, I'm about to get a little deep, but, I'm going to keep it 1,000. During EWC Street Fighter 6, the reason why Xiaohai won again was because he showed the difference between being Chinese and being Japanese. Being Chinese means, and this is why white folks are so afraid of them, because the Chinese will do whatever it takes to win. Okay?
I know where this is going. We talked about this before.
Right. Xiaohai figured that this guy Blast was a scrub, so he treated him like one. Whereas all the Japanese players, they, regardless of what Blast was doing, they wanted to play Street Fighter their way. And that's why they all lost to him.
What's that, man?
And it's a reflection of what's going on right now. Okay? This sheer ignorance through arrogance. That's why they're falling behind China. China don't fucking give a shit of black folks like that. But they know that in order to win, you got to fucking fuck with black folks. So that's the reason why China's over in Africa. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why China's about to surpass the United States any time now economically. Because China's like, hey man, yeah, we don't like those motherfuckers, man, but hey, money's money. And we're going to do whatever it takes in order to win.
Chew you up and spit you out.
But the Japanese, on the other hand, we want to do things one way. Okay? And, the African hometown, Africa's going to come, over Japan, you know what I mean? Now we're going to go ahead and start marching the streets. Okay?
But China, low key, is buying their land in real time.
In real
right.
That's why I applaud that woman, you know what I mean, Uri Hirano, because she's like, man, what are you guys even doing? And they fucking trying to accuse her of being a fake, quote unquote, fake Japanese.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Right.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? And so she's out here literally almost every day warning Japanese citizens, hey man, you guys need to pay attention to what's going on outside Japan. You need to pay attention to what's going on in Taiwan, and you need to pay attention to Chinese politics. They're taking over Japan right now. She's telling them that. But you motherfuckers are afraid of a few Africans coming over to your country to try to help rebuild your economy because you're afraid, you know, because let's be real let's be real, keep 1,000, because you're afraid that the women are going to start fucking with black men. That's what that is.
Oh, they're going to do what they want to do. They already doing that.
Right. And the thing about it is, because they like to pretend that, you know, they like to pretend that, oh man, that, that fucking, all the Africans, you know, all your neighbors are gonna be black. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The Chinese, they don't think like that. Okay? And that's the reason why Japan is losing right now. And everything.
Yeah, it like all the stuff that's happening, it translate, you know, what's going on with them.
Right, it's losing, they're losing everything. You know?
Now you put that into perspective. Yeah, I'm still recording, by the way. Now that you put it in perspective, you know, it does show what I said earlier when I called you. Some battles are not meant to be fought, and some battles do.
Yeah, I mean, in order to, like, you know, like I said, man, if Japan wants to ever beat China, they need to get over this whole fucking, you know, pale skin, you know, doll-like bullshit, okay? You're not going to win the future, you know what I mean, define black people.
And yeah, also, yeah, that goes back to what I said in the beginning. It comes back in full circle. Some battles are not meant to be fought. The Japanese trying to have a battle with people that look like us. It's not meant to be fought.
It's not meant to be fought.
We're not trying to take over the country.
Right, but that's what, you know, that, you know what I'm saying? Isn't that crazy? That, oh, you're afraid that, oh my God, you know, oh, my daughter's gonna be with some black guy or something. That, you know, that's the concern. So the concern is not this fucking country to the left of you with a population of 1.4 billion that can ethnically wipe you out, okay?
I mean, look, we embrace the culture. We like their culture. We're not trying to take over anything.
Well, but the Chinese do not.
Right.
Look what happened. Look at Singapore. Look what happened in Singapore. Singapore is pretty much a Chinese colony.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going to happen in Japan if they don't get their act right. You know what I mean? All this fucking, you know, kissing white ass because of their skin color. You know what I mean? All the blonde hair, blue eyes, whatever. What has that gotten you? Gotten you nowhere.
And then, it seems like, hey, if you keep on, you know, talking about, you know, black folks maliciously over and over and over, something's gonna bite you back.
Right. And the irony is that most people in Japan today don't even know why they got involved in World War II in the first place. The reason why they got involved in World War II, they was manipulated into getting into the World War, because what happened was during the League of Nations, Japan wanted all the countries in the League of Nations to pretty much put an end to racism. And the League of Nations told them no. That's what happened, yeah.
Damn.
That's what happened. Japan actually tried to tell all the nations during the League of Nations, and it got dissolved because of World War II, because it did not prevent World War II from happening. So that's why the League of Nations is no more. That's why now it's, in its second form, the United Nations, the UN, right? Japan got manipulated into World War II because what happened was, and I'm just going to keep it 1,000 all the way with you, the reason why all the fucking white Western countries wanted Japan into a war was because they wanted it to be destroyed, because they felt that if Japan were to come up, that would inspire all the other non-white countries to rise up, because Japan was going to lead by example.
Oh yeah, of course.
You see what I'm saying?
Or any other group, or even us, even people that look like us, we come up, it's going to influence. We influence everybody.
Right.
Contrary to the belief that people despise us, we influence the entire world.
Right, because the civil rights movement, right. So the thing about it is, if Japan had won World War II, right? If Japan had defeated, American, if Japan were to stand as it was, right? That would then inspire all the other non-white nations within South America and Africa to rise and do as well. That's what the history books outside Japan don't want you to know. Yeah, they don't want you to know that.
Yeah, I was lied to.
So,
I know that. I was lied to about a lot of things in education.
Right. And so the thing is, that's why, so they got manipulated by the Jews, the Soviet spies, because it was on record that, Soviet spies were around Eisenhower during the time, and they manipulated him to attack Japan. Yeah. Because the plan was, Soviet spies manipulated the President of the United States to go to war with Japan, because ultimately the main goal was that after the United States had invaded, Russia was going to come in, the Soviet Union, USSR was going to come in and wipe the Japanese out. That was the idea. Yeah, so it's on record that Soviet spies were in Washington, FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt during the time. And Franklin D. Roosevelt, he was a very racist motherfucker. Okay? FDR was a mad racist motherfucker. So that's what happened. Because China was a third world country still during that time. You know what I mean? They didn't start coming up until 1978, because the Japanese shared their technology with the Chinese, during the 1970s. So that's what happened. So yeah, so that's how Japan actually got manipulated into World War II. So that's what happened.
Crazy in the hood, bro.